false memories of being baptized.
Oh,
really?
Up until the age of 8, I had this very clear memory of being in a bowl and water splashing on my head. And I said, at some point, baptism. I was discussing around the age of 8. I was discussing baptism with my mother, and I was like, well, I remember, my mom must have said something like, you're a baby supposed to remember baptism, and I was like, I remember my baptism. And my mom was like, no, you don't. And I was like, yeah, I do. And she was like, honey, Quakers don't get baptized. You were not baptized.
Yeah, right. I was going to say, like,
I think the earliest thing I can remember is being washed in a kitchen sink when I was a baby.
Really?
Well, yeah, I remember my grandma putting the soapy water on in the rubber ducky, and then I remember her putting me into the sink.
And you were a baby at that point?
Yeah.
Like under 1 or?
Under 1.
Wow. I don't talk to a lot of people who can remember being a baby. So it was just directly in the sink, or did she have one of those inflatable things, or?
I don't remember that part. I just remember being put into the sink.
Mm-hmm.
And with a rubber ducky and baby washing stuff on it.
Cool. What color was the rubber ducky?
Yellow.
Yellow. And was the water warm enough for you? Yeah. Mm-hmm. And do you remember anything about how you felt when you were being washed in the sink?
Not that I can know. I don't think so. I just remember I was being put in the sink and it was time for me to take a bath.
So that's a difficult question because, and that might be a little bit interesting of an interview in that sense because a lot of my childhood I don't remember. But I do remember being a very angry child and having a lot of, I don't know what the right word would be. I guess, I struggled a lot with, I guess, temperament and frustration. I don't know.
Do you remember things you felt angry about?
I used to get really angry I had a younger brother, and I used to take out most of my anger on him, but I don't know if he was the source of it. I don't know if it came from home life with my parents. My parents divorced when I was 5, and my dad was a Marine and not the coolest dad. And I don't know if maybe that was the source of the anger, and then I just took it out on the wrong people. But that's a possibility. Another possibility was I was teased a lot in school and couldn't really fight back, so maybe when I got home, that's how I took it out. I don't know.
So this sounds like a reflection on things that could have been the case, but you don't remember how the feelings felt or what provoked them?
Yeah, it's very foggy for me when it comes to anything prior to my middle school years. And I had a lot of stupidly traumatic experiences with family and school and etc. that I don't know if I purposefully blocked out or I'm not sure.
Hey now. Hey, yes, here's these details.
So one of the initial questions I was just remembered I should ask also is, why is my cat ridiculous? How, you say that you don't remember a lot of your childhood.
Right.
What would you, like, how many of the first years of your life do you feel like you don't have any memory from?
No, well, so I'll remember, like, pieces, but, like, few and far between, and then the first few years of my life, I would say, I don't quite remember anything before my parents split.
So you don't remember when your family was still together?
Right. Yeah, I don't at all.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, it's spotty. Let's say, I'd say it's more spotty the younger I was, and then like as I grew older, like I can remember more things from those ages, but I don't know, like it's still not a very I don't know. Some people have very vivid memories of their childhood. I can't even tell you.
Well, my favorite song right now is probably like Radioactive by Imagine Dragons, because I know all the words to that. And I like an older song by Rihanna.
Cool. I like those songs too.
Yeah, me too.
Do you feel like doing a little for me?
Oh yeah, sure.
Okay.
It's radioactive. Whatever, I'm not gonna do that song. Oh, I'm gonna do something else.
Okay.
Let's do that. Something.
Take your time.
I can do that one. I'm just gonna do one of those. I shake it off. Break it to the yeah.
I was talking to my buddy Dave. He lives in Japan. I was talking to him when I went to visit him, and I said, do you remember this time when we went to one of those underground raves in the early 2000s, and you spent the entire night dancing with this very obviously gay man who was very obviously into you? And he said, uh-huh, and I said, yeah, and then I came up to him and I said, Dave, this guy thinks you're into him, you're kind of leading him on. And he said, uh-huh, and then I said, so Dave, do you remember this? And he said, kind of, except that was you. You were the guy dancing with the gay man. And I went, no. And we talked about it for a few minutes, and I went, oh shit, that was absolutely me. I had reversed the roles for whatever reason. I had no idea why. I don't remember this one though. That's one of those things that I sort of have a memory because my mother's told me so many times, but I hopped on a police boat in the National Harbor as it started to go away. And she was going, ah, and all the cops were laughing. But I feel like I remember it, but I don't remember it at all.
That's really funny.
Yeah.
Good one. There you go, Little Mike.
Oh, Little Mike was a badass. Little Mike was cool.
What do you want from your future self? What are you asking him for?
That's a really good question. I'm really scared about forgetting things. So I think about memories a lot, so I don't forget anything. So
I have a very explicit memory
and this is honestly probably that my question didn't make sense to my dad, but I remember asking him if ghosts were real. And I very explicitly remember him saying, like, yes. Yes, they are. And this didn't really bother me, because I didn't have a conception of ghosts as, like, wicked or evil or anything. But the thing that I remember about it is that for what seemed like a very long time, but was really probably just a couple of months, I would try to stay up so that I could see the ghosts, because my conception of it was that people were around during the day, and ghosts just use the same infrastructure as people, but at nighttime. So if you like look out the window at night, you'll see like ghosts driving cars, going to work, doing regular stuff, just, you know, ghosts are around at night. I didn't think it was scary or anything, I just thought it was like an interesting part of reality. Yeah.
That's really awesome. Were there any particular ghosts that you and your dad talked about?
No. So it was like a very short conversation where he just said, yeah, they're real. And then like maybe 6 months later, I was like, man, I've been trying to stay up to see these ghosts, but it's just not working out. And he was like, what are you talking about? And it was like very, not traumatic exactly, but like very like, no, you said they're real. And he was like, I did not say ghosts are real. And I was like, whoa. You know, like, hold on, man. Like, that's not cool. Ghosts are definitely real, right?
Now I want to ask. Now I want to interview your dad. The first question is going to be, are ghosts real?
Yeah. I've never talked to him about it as an adult, just because, you know, yeah.
Could that have been a false memory? Did you wanted that so much?
Maybe, I don't know. I remember it very clearly, though. The thing that sticks out most clearly, though, is like the disappointment in finding out that ghosts weren't real. Because they had like this very rich imagery of like these ghosts kind of like floating around.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's I think probably the earliest memory is kind of like that disappointment. And maybe you're right, maybe it's a false memory attached to it of the like, yes, ghosts are real.
That's why I'm like, I don't know if I dreamed them and like stuff. No, because I would forget a dream.
Mm-hmm.
So they're just like these isolated memories, and then everything around it is just, I don't know, memento.
You interview that character.
Oh, sometimes I feel like that character.
The false memory, isn't that something funny? So it sounds like you feel like you might have a lot of false memories.
It's possible. I to this day will say I specifically remember doing this thing or having this discussion with you, and people will say that never happened.
Well, I want to have like a lot of jobs. I mean, I don't want to have a lot of jobs, but I want to do like a bunch of things that are in like the same thing. I want to do like, I want to go to beauty school, and I want to be a fashion designer, and I want to do like music, and I want to be an artist, and I want to do like theater and performance and music and all that stuff. So that's a lot of things, but if you notice, it's like all in the same sort of like thing, like art and music. Well, the beauty not so much, and the fashion designer, but basically it's all like crafty.
Yeah, those are all things that go really well together.
Yeah, they go like really good.
Yeah. I appreciate you do all of them, and they'll all, like, your theater will be better because you know about fashion and beauty, and music will help theater too, and theater will help all of it.
Mm-hmm.
That's really cool. Have you ever had like a false memory, like a memory you had and then you realized it wasn't true?
No, not really.
They were your town, and you were the shoreline. They will crash a small boundary. Behind that boundary was vast. Deep and lurking inside them, and deeper down there was more. The weird, the dark, the phosphorescent. young and you were all the shore. Sometimes you were rocky, sometimes